This is my leak, and this is my podcast. Today, we have a truly exciting guest that is joining us. She is going to illuminate a topic that, despite its importance, often lurks in the shadows of taboo. Joining us today is Goody Howard, a world-renowned sexologist, educator, and consultant who has dedicated her life to empowering people through sexual exploration, education, and awareness. Today, we are going to talk to her about sensual intelligence, explore the integration of sexual health and pleasure with confidence, share some insider tips on becoming a better lover, and discuss some of Goody's favorite tools for enhancing pleasure. Whether you're looking to deepen your relationship, enhance your sexual awareness, or just curious about the field of sexology, there's something in this episode for you. So tune in as Goody helps us break down barriers and build up knowledge to promote a healthier, more joyful approach to sexuality. Let's get started.
This episode is brought to you by Hill's Pet Nutrition. Every shelter pet deserves a second chance, and you're making it possible for thousands of them every day. Because when you feed your pet Hills, you help feed a shelter pet, which helps make them healthy, happy, and more adoptable, changing their life forever. So they can change yours. Over 14 million shelter pets fed and adopted. Science did that. Visit hillspet.com/podcast to learn more.
If you're struggling to lose weight, you've probably heard about weight loss medications like Wegovy or Zepbound, and you might be wondering if they're right for you. Meet PlushCare, a leading telehealth provider with doctors who are there for you day and night to partner with you in your weight loss journey. If you qualify, they can safely prescribe you medication from the comfort of your own home. To get started, visit plushcare.com/weight-loss. That's plushcare.com/weight-loss. plushcare.com/weight-loss.
What a dream to have you on the podcast,
Yes.
Goody Howard. Please just, the intro has introed, but please tell us why you have chosen this field of work. Because I don't know, there are lots of people, but I feel like there is one you.
I love that. The rest of the world. Hey, I hope y'all heard her say that. I did this. I chose this line of work. I didn't realize it was a line of work.
Mm.
And then when I realized that I could pay my grown lady bills, doing what I love, but also empowering and educating and low-key entertaining. I think it's like edutainment.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And just kind of helping people skip steps to get to the safest, most satisfying sex life they can have.
Ooh.
Because confident is the sexiest thing you can be.
Yes.
And so people think that I'm like, the dildo dealer, right? Like the sex educator, the orgasms and rainbows. But in real life, it's all about confidence.
Okay.
And I want, especially people that look like me,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to have that confidence that is rooted in not only like their natural prowess, what they already know, but also the science and whole shit, right? When you can support your talent with like formal education,
Mm-hmm.
it gives you walk different. Like if you
Yeah.
know how to dance and then you take a dance class, you dancing different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you know how to
Right.
sing and then you take a voice class, honey, those runs are running.
Yes.
Right? And so
Yes.
the same thing happens in your sex and your love and your pleasure. And I say sex and pleasure separate because they're two separate things because we've had this conversation.
Right.
But just helping people connect to pleasure with confidence is a huge thing because our pleasure is revolutionary.
So, amen. There's on your page, for anybody who follows you on social, you speak about sensual intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that was new to me before I was introduced to your work. And so by Dr. Lex, who shout out to her because she's also doing some good work. But what is sensual intelligence and why do you think so many of us don't know what it is?
Well, sensual intelligence is kind of like a framework that I made up, right?
Okay.
And so I'm glad you didn't hear it before you got to me because, unless somebody was quoting me, I'm down.
Okay.
But sensual intelligence essentially separates sex from pleasure.
Okay.
And the concept is that the idea of sensuality is experiencing non-sexual pleasure through all 6 of the senses: sight, sound, taste, touch, scent, and feel. Feel is that emotional, like that giddiness, that joy, or that sorrow, like that internal.
Okay.
And so when you experience pleasure through all 6 of the senses, non-sexual pleasure through all 6 of the senses, it makes pleasure accessible. It makes you realize that it's all around you. And you can connect to it really easily, and like it's right there, right?
Yeah.
And it's not sexual, so that you have this now intentional gratitude with how you move through the world. And so then when that makes you a sensual being, right? And when you're a sensual being having a sexual experience, you're now experiencing sexual pleasure through all 6 of the senses. And so it adds layers to the pleasure. It makes you more connected. It grounds you in the room, in the space, in the experience. And it makes you more receptive to the more than 18 different kinds of orgasms that the human body has to offer. And so I think it's like gasoline on a fire in a good way.
Yes, we're going to get back to the 18, the 18 types of orgasms, which we will talk about. But what are some ways that we can cultivate sensuality, or, enhance our sensual intelligence? Because there's like just how elusive self-care sometimes can feel. That's kind of how I feel about sensuality. What are some ways to cultivate it in our lives?
I love that you framed it like that, because I love, I have a reputation in my industry for being the actionable educator. Like I give people, you want to walk away with some tools and tips and tricks that you can apply right now, right?
Yes.
And so I think, self-care, when I hear it, it just feels heavy to me. Like my sensual self, I feel the weight of self-care on my shoulders. It feels expensive. It feels like I have to pay money for something. I have to set aside time for something.
Right.
Like there are all these moving pieces. The easiest way I tell people to connect, to just start their sensual journey, to just start to recognize the non-sexual pleasure around them, is called a shadow shower.
Yeah.
And I love the shadow shower because, so what a shadow shower is you go into your bathroom, or a bathroom that you're familiar with, and you take a shower, but no lights, no candles, no music. Just you in the water. Okay. So then you get in, it's dark, your eyes will adjust. That's sight.
Yeah.
Sound, you're breathing, the sound of the water, etc. Right. So that's sight, sound, taste. I like to speak my day into the water. Like I mouth my day.
Wow.
Like the plus minus delta, like the glimmers.
Yeah.
Right? The not so glimmers.
Right.
Possibly thing, maybe somebody I wanted to tell off that I didn't, because so I do it,
yes.
And it just kind of runs out of my mouth and down the drain with the water.
Ooh.
Right. So that's the taste. You feel yourself resetting in that way.
Yes.
That's sight, sound, taste, touch. Like, the scent of the soap or product that you're using. Body wash is not soap, people. Why it's called body wash. If it was soap, it would be called soap. Just putting that out there. So if you're only using body wash, use soap first and then use the body wash.
Okay.
I saw someone on TikTok, they were like, that was called double cleansing. It was like, no, it's not. It's just showering.
Okay.
Like if you use, so that's the scent, right? And if you use, like the temperature of the water is touch. If you use a washcloth or a loofah or a scrubby mitten or whatever you're using to cleanse yourself. And then you also have to touch yourself. So like most of the time people just get naked for, utility, to get dressed, to have sex, to get clean. But you have to touch yourself differently because you can't see. So, you can feel your skin. Oh, I need to exfoliate. Oh, I need to hydrate. Oh, I need to shave here. Or, oh, I need to schedule a wax. Or I need, you can go through and just kind of touch yourself in a very restorative, cleansing, nurturing way instead of a sexual way, instead of a utility way.
Yeah.
You just have actually touching your own, skin. And it just sort of resets your relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
And then when you get out, if you use a lotion or anything, there's nothing better to me than getting out of a shower and getting in the clean sheets.
Ooh, yes.
You know? So something but recognizing it. The thing is, we love it, but we don't luxuriate in that moment.
Right.
Kind of let it pass.
That is top tier self-care that you were going to do anyway. And it didn't add any extra time. It didn't cost you anything.
Nothing. You was going to wash your ass in the next 72 hours. You're going to wash your butt.
Yeah.
I'd like to hope.
So
You know
you
what I'm saying?
can, this is not an elusive thing. This is
No,
this is a
this is
very simple.
accessible.
Yes.
You know how I feel about accessible, Malik. If it's not accessible, it's not revolutionary, and I consider myself a revolutionary.
Yes,
So,
you do.
I do.
And yes. So when we start to do this,
Mhm.
I guess I want to backtrack and wonder if you have an answer to this. Why do you think there's sometimes or seemingly a barrier between us and our bodies? Do you have any thoughts?
Us. Who is us first before I answer that?
That's a good question. I would just say I think a lot of times I'm curious about Black women.
Okay.
So
that's
that's a good question. Who is we and who is us? But I don't know. I mean, a lot of the work that I do centers Black women, and I don't know. It's like, as a Black woman who is in various communities with Black women,
Mhm.
I mean, having these kind of conversations, even as a person who is more open to talk about just about everything, even having a conversation like you and I are having, kind of like everybody's not necessarily up for it in the like us and we. So
Correct.
I'm curious, do you think there is where this barrier comes from, or if there is one?
Oh, there definitely is one.
Okay.
I think for Black women, I think and it's different for different groups. That's why I want to know who we
Right.
was. So
True.
For Black women, Black American women,
Right.
because that's different too.
Right.
Black American women or westernized Black women is from the ambient Christianity, the respectability politics, and that's where the taboo comes from. But then we don't have the time, the energy, or the desire because of the hustle culture, because of Black women are the most educated group in America. We are starting all the new businesses, whether we have, then don't have, don't be a partner and a parent too.
Right.
Those things. So it's like, who are you? We ain't taking care of you. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say I'm not a mom, I'm not a wife, I'm a parent and a partner, because it frees me up from the mommy guilt.
Yep.
It frees me up from the burden of the invisible labor that comes with managing a household by myself, because I know lots of single moms that are married.
Yep. I remember you telling me, parent and partner. That's how I, right. It's like, I don't want mom, wife, I'm not a wife, but like, those are just heavy jobs. And even heavy. Just changing the language.
The language. And it lifts, you sit differently. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It takes that weight off. And I think that sort of weighs us down. So we don't have time. Pleasure is a luxury. And I think a lot of people frame pleasure as a luxury, but pleasure is a birthright.
Yes.
And I'm talking about non-sexual pleasure and sexual pleasure, because God made the clitoris. So, I mean, thanks.
Right.
But I mean, it's because the reason sensual intelligence is important is because, again, when you think of pleasure, sometimes people think, they automatically default to sexual pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Then they automatically default to, I gotta shave my legs and clean the room and make the bed and find my lingerie and make sure the kids sleep and do, it becomes a chore.
It
does.
So
that takes the fun out, that takes the joy out. The definition of pleasure is experiencing great joy and excitement.
Right.
And so connecting to what words mean and how they feel and what they really can look like in our lives is important. So I think with Black women, it's, again, that respectability politics, the hustle culture, all the other hats that we wear in the world. And then again, pleasure is defaulted to sexual pleasure, not just, having an extra glass of wine.
Yeah.
Right. You get, it's making a dinner that they can eat for 2 days instead of one. So you don't have to do, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Eating alone, sitting alone.
That's why we sit in our car for 20 minutes before we go in the house.
Right. Listening to your favorite song multiple times, like on a loop, if you feel like you need to. All the ways to access that.
That's why for us, I think that's why with Black women, I think that's why it's a challenge. And I think for Black men, it's a challenge because pleasure is automatically feminized.
Yes. Wow. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. And so we have to then be that safe space for our male partners, our brothers, the men in our lives, our brothers, our fathers, our uncles, our children, our male children, and create a space, not even a safe space.
Right.
Just a space. Because there's no space for them. They can't even eat hot dogs in public. Are you drinking out of a straw? Like, they they do the most with the least. And so redefining pleasure for them too. Babe, guess what I learned?
What?
or just
Yeah.
modeling it
Oh,
for your
yeah.
children. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It creates space for them, because I think your partners, male or female, any kind of partner you got, should be taking a shadow shower as well, and it helps them
Yes.
connect to themselves. Like that feeling they get when they go to get their haircut.
Yeah.
That's non-sexual pleasure. They walk
Yeah.
different. They talk different. They running extra errands on the way home from the barbershop.
Right. And I think we have to, because I know lots of women that are like, anytime, like certain things that men do is, like you said, feminized. And I think we also play a part in just like, I don't know, blocking that access.
Perpetuating it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like it's okay if they have a male friend that they enjoy or they laugh with, that, you know what I mean? It's just like, can't have male friends, can't have female friends. Like just all the ways that I feel like we,
I think too, with men, especially Black men relationships, because of how they're socialized, they love their friends.
Mm-hmm.
They talk to each other. They may not have as in-depth conversations, but they feel free. They feel safe.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of my male clients say things like they're afraid to express themselves to their partner because they feel like it's going to come back on them when they get in a fight.
Yeah.
Or they feel like the partner's going to think less of them or view them as less masculine or what have you. And so they don't feel safe around their partners. And I tell people, when we talk about like relationships, it's not just love. Love is not enough. You have to have trust, respect, and safety mutually. Because a lot of times it's women like, oh, I feel safe, but does he feel safe with you?
Oop.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're not used to having safety, so it doesn't dawn on them.
Right.
To even look for that. So,
right.
I mean, and that's part of that pleasure, the safety that you feel and that comfort that you feel with your partner is unmatched.
Wow.
And so, I think that's why socially that's a challenge. And that's why, again, I have an MSW, I have a Master of Social Work and a Master of Public Health, because the social side of that really looks like that kind of exploration.
Yeah.
And it helps me leverage into my workshops and my presentations and all of my things, so everyone I'm speaking to can hear.
Ooh, we need that. We need you. I love the work that you do. And I want to talk about sexual health.
Okay.
What are some key elements of sexual health that all of us should understand?
I think some key elements of sexual health that everyone should understand is lubricant is your friend.
Okay.
Lubricant reduces friction, no matter what kind of sex you're having. Even if you're having oral sex, that flavored lube, you don't have to put the flavored lube directly on your partner's genitals. Just put a little bit on your finger and put it on your inner cheeks.
Okay.
You don't have to, like, people don't even know how to use stuff, right? But lubricant helps reduce friction, which helps reduce infection and irritation. I think also people need to understand that there's a difference between infection and irritation. So if you're having sex with your partner and, you're itchy the next day or you're uncomfortable the next day or what have you, it could just be irritation.
Right.
Not necessarily an infection, because maybe your diets are vastly different. If you're plant-based and they are a meat eater, you are going to feel the difference. If they smoke and you don't, you're going to feel the difference.
Right.
So things like that. Understand the difference between, like I said, infection and irritation, and how your partner. I get so many people in my DMs asking if they're allergic to their partner's sperm.
Interesting.
All the time. And first of all, sperm and semen is different. I want people to know that. Sexual health.
Okay.
Semen and sperm are different. Semen is what the sperm swim in.
Okay.
So sperm are the
swimmers.
And the semen is the juice that they swim in. Okay.
Right.
You're not allergic to your partner. Your partner's semen's job is to disrupt your pH balance. So that the sperm can get through to fertilize the egg. They're like football. They're blocking. The semen blocks for the sperm. Okay. So you're supposed to be itching. You're not supposed to smell your best. Your pH is off.
Okay. Because that's the semen and sperm doing their job.
Correct. That's the semen doing its job. Yes.
Okay.
And so people think, oh, am I allergic because I don't like how I smell after the fact, or I itch a little bit after the fact. It'll go back to normal.
Okay.
But that's what semen is supposed to do.
Okay.
So if you're having sex without a condom, that's just part of it.
Got it. So lube.
Yeah.
Understanding pH and what the difference of sperm and semen. Any other top sexual health things that you feel we miss and don't know, which I feel like is a whole lot of stuff.
There's a whole lot, like, to narrow it down. I think getting tested is important, and people don't know to get tested in your mouth, your anus, and your genitals.
Ah, look at this. You see my face.
So you go to the doctor and you get tested for STIs. They test your genitals. You're non-reactive. They say, okay, you don't have any STIs.
Yeah.
But gonorrhea and strep are play cousins. So gonorrhea can flourish in the throat.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
In the mouth and throat.
Okay.
So you could be giving head, passing out gonorrhea, but your vagina or your anus may not have gonorrhea.
Got it. Now there is something that I feel like the clitoris and how there's like how long it is or big it is. Is that like, can you
I wish this was a video so everyone else could see.
I know. I wish they could see, and maybe I will. Like if I can pull this out, I'll show. Okay. So this is a clitoris that I feel clitoris. Right. That
this
looks
is the whole part.
And it looks like, for those of you who are in audio, which is everyone, it looks like a kind of like a person, almost like arms, legs. And I
actually have a T-shirt with him dressed like Waldo because people can't find it. It's it looks like kind of like a wishbone,
right?
Like a double wishbone.
Mm-hmm.
And the head part, this is what we see,
right? Just the top part,
and it has
That's
a
all we see.
hood over it.
Okay.
So when we talk about like clitoral circumcision, the hood is what's cut off usually. There's different ways to do it, but what's happening with clitoral circumcision, that's what it is, that hood. So even when you're cleaning your vulva, sexual health, when you're cleaning your vulva, you want to pull your clitoral hood back and rinse back there too, because
right,
it can be a thing.
Okay. And
then the vaginal opening is right here.
Okay. So the clitoris kind of goes around.
It straddles.
It straddles the vaginal opening.
And this right here where my finger is, that's the G-spot.
Okay. So okay. So
the G-spot is the internal access to the clitoris.
Okay. Can we spend just like a few minutes on the G-spot? Because
Absolutely.
I feel like I don't know, I feel very juvenile in junior high right now because it was like, is the G-spot real? Is it a thing? Like, can everybody access theirs? Like, what is it? I will because I will have video. I will show a photo in my Instagram of like where you showed it was, but how do we access it?
Okay. Well, it's very real. It was discovered by a man, shockingly. Dr. Grafenberg. That's why it's called the G-spot, because no one said the Grafenberg spot.
Okay.
And it's the internal access to the clitoris. So if you're going to reach into a vaginal canal, put some lubricant on your fingers, and you reach in and just feel around with your fingertips. I mean, your fingerprints, not your fingertips.
The print.
Your fingerprints like this. People reach in front. Don't do this.
This. Okay.
And just kind of feel around, and it's like a grainy, you'll notice like a change in texture in the vaginal canal. It's like a grainy spot. And when you're aroused, it's easier to feel.
Okay.
And so that kind of, it has its own orgasm that comes. The G-spot orgasm is all by itself. Now, the squirting orgasm is usually something that happens in tandem with the G-spot orgasm.
Okay.
But not always.
Not always. Okay. Speaking of orgasms, and you said there were 18.
At least they're more than 18.
They're more than 18.
I'm comfortable teaching about 18.
Okay. Can you educate us quickly on as many as you know off the top? So 18 orgasms, there are more.
Yeah, there are more. So and 10 of these 18 are achievable by people with penises. So a lot of times when people hear multiple orgasms, they automatically default to the femme body. They automatically default to a body with a vulva. 10 of these are achievable by penis people too.
Okay.
So it is the anal orgasm, vaginal, clitoral, oral.
Okay.
A spot, U spot, G spot, P spot.
Okay.
Squirting orgasm, frenulum orgasm, pelvic orgasm, nipple orgasm, skingasm, breathgasm, cervical orgasm, birthgasm, blended orgasm.
It'll come
That's 17.
That's 17. That's quite a lot. So the breath orgasm, you can just orgasm from someone breathing on you?
Absolutely.
I believe that.
From you breathing.
Oh, from you breathing.
It's a controlled, it's like tantric. It's a controlled breathing situation. Coregasm and breathgasm are very much connected.
Yeah.
You can actually breathe your way.
Okay.
to an
And
orgasm.
I naturally want to talk about some of the common barriers. Do you know of some common barriers that people face in achieving sexual health and pleasure? And do you have any tips, strategies for overcoming any hurdles?
My biggest sexual health tip is to drink water, because people don't drink water.
Yeah.
I think the biggest barrier is that they don't know they exist. And when you go on a road trip and you're going on the trip and he's like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? There's no snacks. There's no nothing. We're just focused on the destination. Going, hey, are we there yet? Are we there yet? And when you get in the car and you're going on a road trip and there's snacks and there's music and you're playing games, you're enjoying the trip so much. You're like, oh, we're here already?
Right.
So
right.
you go on the trip to Orgasm Town and you don't enjoy the trip. See, people don't pay attention to the trip along the way. They're just trying to get there.
Right.
The pleasure is the snacks and the games and the music and the journey to
Right.
Orgasm Town. And so I think the biggest hurdle for people is they're focused on the orgasm and not the pleasure. You can have amazing sex without an orgasm.
Yeah.
If you enjoy the journey.
Right. Right. Okay.
And so I think that's what a lot of people don't do. Media and television and stuff has not helped with that. And we're also so busy and focused on the genitals of it all.
Yeah.
That we lose sight. Like all those different orgasms I named, only a few were located in the genitals.
Right.
So there's so many other ways to get to this sort of peak of pleasure, but we don't look at those. We don't take the time to connect to each other. Passionate wise, foreplay doesn't last long enough.
Yeah.
All the different things. And we're not properly hydrated. When you're properly hydrated, your skin is more supple, so the touch of it all feels different. If you have a vulva, when it's time to get wet, you get wetter. If you're not a squirter, you can be. If you are a squirter, you'll squirt more, because you cannot squirt at Starbucks. I tell people this all the time. That mango dragon fruit refresher is not.
It's not.
That's not it. That's not it. If you have a penis, it'll help with erection quality. It also helps with the texture of cum, the texture of ejaculate.
Okay.
Ejaculate should be the texture of spit, not snot.
Ooh. Okay.
So if it's thick, they need water.
Okay.
It helps with stamina. All the things.
Right. All the things.
So it's people aren't really focusing on the journey. They're focusing on the destination.
Getting to Orgasm Town.
They're shorting themselves.
Understood. Okay. Tips for being a better lover. So from your very professional perspective, what are some qualities that make someone a good lover? Asking for
someone that pays attention. Someone that listens. Someone that enjoys the things that they're doing sexually. Like, if you don't enjoy it, it's going to come across in your performance.
Right.
And so don't nobody want nobody on them that don't want to be there.
Right.
So if you don't want to put a penis in your mouth, don't put a penis in your mouth. Somebody's putting that penis in your mouth. It may not be you. Some people don't enjoy oral sex. Everyone doesn't enjoy everything.
Right.
Okay. So you can't assume that it's a one size fits all. But I think a lover that is patient, that is generous, that is thinking about your pleasure. Because if you're thinking about their pleasure and they're thinking about your pleasure, then everyone gets pleasure. But if I'm thinking about your pleasure and you think about your pleasure, who worry about me?
Right.
No one's taking care of me.
Right.
So the ability to be attentive and just again, it's that sensual piece, like how they hold their breath in anticipation of what you're going to do and how their body completely melts when you do it. Like paying attention to their breathing and their pleasure sounds and all of these different things make you a better lover, but that's all sensual. Right. It's like you're not just kissing someone, you're exchanging the same breath.
Right. Like
thinking about it and framing it in that way and showing up completely in the act, right? If you don't enjoy what you're doing, that's why I like the riding class, right? When we teach the riding class, I want people to enjoy being on top. I teach every workshop that I teach it from the perspective of the person performing that act. And I help add layers of pleasure for them. It's not about the blowjob class. It's not about pleasing your partner. It's about you enjoying performing oral sex on a penis so that you'll do it more, so that you'll participate.
Right.
And when your partner sees that you're doing this because you want to, not because you feel like you have to,
Right.
it not only changes the dynamic of that interaction, it changes the dynamic upright with clothes on.
Right.
Because you don't resent them like, oh, I gotta do this.
Right. It becomes something you want to do because
Correct.
you are getting pleasure out of it. I feel like I need to, before we even keep going, I need to tell y'all about Goody Howard's classes. If you have never taken a class with her, you are missing out on so much in your life. If she is coming to your town, if she is not coming to your town,
right? But we have to
please, wherever she's going, please take one of these classes because I took Rideology with you, and it is so much fun. It is so much fun. It is so empowering, like, because with Rideology, I feel like one of the main facets that you are teaching is that, don't worry about your size. Don't because you have a partner. It's like, don't worry about your size. Like this, everybody can do this. Good knees or bad knees.
Good knees, it don't matter.
Meg knees or no knees.
You took it on. We did an online one.
Oh yeah, and we did the online one too, which was amazing.
And so when you see the difference, I mean, they're both impactful.
They are.
When you do it in person and you partner up,
yes,
then you get to see what it's like to be on the top and to be on the bottom.
Yeah,
and I think to me that is a game changer for a lot of people because you're so worried about your partner on the bottom.
Yes.
That when you get to that experience to be on the bottom, you're like, oh, they're fine.
They're fine. Yes.
And you can redirect that energy back to yourself.
Yes. She has, Goody has fantastic online classes too. I will see if I can.
I'm launching a membership this year. I'm so excited.
Okay. We're going to be, if you take an online class, take an in-person class, they're different. They're exciting. They're amazing. But I do want to ask you about deepening intimacy.
Yes.
Do you have some thoughts on tips that you can offer partners looking to deepen their intimacy and strengthen that connection? I feel like that's so many people post-pandemic, which I feel like for the next decade, 2 decades, we're going to be feeling like post-pandemic.
Yeah, because it's still pandemic.
Yeah.
Real life.
Yeah.
I be masked up outside. People look at me like I'm crazy. It's still a pandemic. Because Texas don't care. Texas never cared. We never shut down.
Texas never
cared. Was always open. Texas did not give a fuck. So I'll be like, I gotta, and I got my master's of public health during the pandemic, like in 2020. So like being in real time, seeing what's happening. Yeah. And I was like, no. But intimacy is a thing. A lot of people got divorced after the lockdown because they were like, I don't like you.
Right. So,
but the intimacy, I think, I say, I have a colleague, Dr. Shamira. She has these cards that say, she says, use your mouth is the name of the cards. And they are intimacy, like she's a sex therapist. And they are like, I wholly believe in using the resources. The social worker in me says use the resources that are available. So get the card games. Right. Yes. Get the card games. If you are single, get the card games.
Get the card games.
Take 2 or 3 of them cards with you on your little date.
Yeah. Such a good idea.
And be like, oh, I just thought this would be a good icebreaker. Or just ask the questions. They don't even have to know they were on the cards. Just kind of work it into the conversation. Right. If you have a partner and y'all trying to get somewhere, you're trying to get some clarity on some things, read the deck ahead of time and stack it to get to the questions that you want on top. Because then it's the card game.
And not you. That's such a good idea too.
These cards are crazy. I ain't looking at question.
Right.
Card game, like
card game, know our business.
Get the card game. Do things that you enjoy together. My husband and I love to go to comedy shows and concerts and art shows. We love to do things like that. We love to get high and go to the movies late at night. The movie be even more funny. Right. But like find something that y'all like to do. Even if it's just watching a show together. Right. And don't watch the show without each other. Right. Take a class together. Sometimes just learning something new together. You build new memories. Because what's going to happen, especially if you have kids, you're going to be so busy parenting that you're going to forget to partner. And when them kids grow up and move away like they're supposed to, right? Y'all going to be sitting there looking at each other crazy.
Right. Because you
don't have anything but the kids to keep you in common. So now what? I've heard the 2-2-2 rule, the 4-4-4 rule.
What's that?
I feel like the 2-2-2 or the 3-3-3 is good. So every 2 days, Try to have sex every 2 days.
Okay.
Try to go out every 2 weeks, and try to go on a vacation together, kid free, every 2 years.
Okay. The 2-2-2 rule.
Yeah.
2 days, 2 weeks, 2 years. Okay.
Yes. Now, the thing about the sex every 2 days in real life,
yeah, it's like,
that might not be a thing.
Right.
I like a 72. I'm a good 72-hour girl myself.
Okay.
And what you can do is you put it in your calendar, because if it's not in the calendar, it's not happening years old.
I love the 2-2-2 in the calendar.
Yes, because now here's the thing: your partner don't have to be on them calendar invites.
Okay,
because, especially if you're a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing, y'all: we wait on them to initiate sex and intimacy all the time, and they want to feel desired and loved and attractive too.
Right.
So you put it in your calendar every 72 hours, you gonna start the party.
I like it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if you're not gonna overtly start it,
right.
Put down what they pick up. You know what I'm saying? Put the feelers out. You know what I'm saying? So they know that you're available and open and down.
Okay.
If you're not a wholehearted, initiator.
Okay.
But every 72 hours, at least try. Now, y'all may be tired.
Right.
It happens. It may not happen every 72 hours, but the fact that you initiated, the fact that you put the effort in,
right,
affirms your partner.
Okay.
Because a lot of times a woman wouldn't be expected to stay in a relationship where she doesn't feel affirmed or feel cared for or feel desired or feel attractive.
Yes.
So why would your male partner not? You know what I'm saying? We call our homegirls. We all beautiful, okay, gorgeous, okay.
Right.
You ain't said nothing to that man. That's why they take a long time coming home from the haircut.
Right. So somebody can see them. Right. They just want to
be for a hot 3 hours because they need to just feel like they still got it.
Right.
But you need to remind your partner that they've still got it. And it doesn't have to be physical compliment.
Mm-hmm.
It could just be, I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
Right.
You take such good care of us.
Yeah.
Even in the ways that they do, because we know that the household management falls on us 9 times out of 10. But just highlighting the things that they do. I'm not saying make up shit. I'm not saying have a parade because they took the trash out.
Right.
But the genuine compliment.
Yeah.
The things that you see them putting effort into.
Yeah. I'm glad you are sharing this because so many of us need this reminder. It's just like we do get wrapped up because we are doing so much. And you make a really good point that our male partners also want to feel seen, desired, and all of the things that we want to feel too.
Also, take something off your plate for intimacy building. Take something off your plate. And she reframed this for me. Because sometimes like, I need help. Can you help me with this? No. Can you take responsibility for this for me, please?
Ooh, can you take responsibility for this?
Because if I ask you for help, you're just going to do it that one time. But if I ask you to take responsibility for it, because in real life, we don't discuss whose responsibility is what. Who decided that the women do the dishes?
Right.
Who decided that the women do the cooking and the cleaning and all of that shit? Who decided that?
Who?
No one came. We didn't have a meeting. I wasn't there. It wasn't moved and seconded. And in every household, those kinds of conversations need to happen. Is whose responsibility is what? Because a lot of times people get in fights because you just did the dishes and he come put a dish in the sink after you done the dishes. Right. Because he feels like that's your job to do the dishes, but it's his cup and you done with the dishes, so he need to wash his own cup and put it up. Right. But no one had a conversation about why do you expect me to do the dishes? Right. Right. So have a conversation about things that maybe you don't enjoy doing that they don't really care one way or the other. And be like, can you take responsibility for this? Yeah. Because this is a lot for me. I just really need, I need some support. Can you take responsibility for this? And then that's their job now. Right. That's now. I don't wash clothes in my house. My husband does.
That's his responsibility.
His responsibility is washing clothes. His responsibility, they're all the entire house. I have a QR code on my refrigerator where they scan the QR code and it takes them to the Google sheet with the grocery list. Because I used to have a list, but I can't read everybody's handwriting. Right. So we run out of something. You scan the QR. Everybody got a phone. Right. Even the baby, the 8-year-old got a phone. Scan the QR code. She know how to type what she wants. She can type we out of Pop-Tarts. She can put Pop-Tarts. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. Put it on there. When I go to order the groceries, I don't have to use. And if you didn't put it on the list and we out of it, then you didn't want it.
Ooh, I love this. Giving everybody in the home responsibility.
It's responsibilities. Because I had a conversation with my friend. Her boys, she has 3 boys. Her boys are feral. Teenagers. Feral. Her husband, responsible as hell. He can go to the store by himself. You know, that's a big deal. Because I sent my husband to the store for lettuce and he came back with a head of cabbage.
It's just like, don't get me started.
But you see what I'm saying? And for me, what I noticed was my children are in line. And my husband was feral.
Yeah.
Not feral, but I wasn't leaning on him as an adult in the house like I should have.
Yeah.
And it wasn't his fault. Because I wasn't leaning and he wasn't volunteering because he thought I was good.
Right.
But I'm watching these feral boys because they can go to Paris and she's like, well, I got to cook some meals and freeze them and I got to do that. I said, why you got to do that?
Right.
She was like, well, because they won't eat. If I don't cook, they won't eat. I said, they'll figure it out when they get hungry though, right?
Right.
Like, and so then that took that off her list so she could just focus on packing.
Right.
Because they're going to eat.
They're going to eat. Get your lips together.
We were like running errands. I was like, oh, because we got to go to the store. We got to go to this. And she was like, well, the guys can go to the store. What? Send it to Thomas and Howard to the store? Without a list with pictures? Like, no.
Right.
And so she was like, well, I send Dave all the time. So Dave and Tizama went to the store by themselves.
Yeah.
They came back with the right things. And I was like, I just don't lean on him. I don't hold him accountable in the same ways.
Yeah.
Kids can be, when they move out, they can be sustainable, but I don't lean on my partner so that's part of intimacy building, because a lot of times it's, you don't have time for sex. You don't want to because you're so tired from all the shit you do at home.
Right.
So why is that? You're not the only one with arms. So you're not the only one that can sweep.
Right.
You're not the only one that can do dishes. You're not the only person that can, fold a clothes, a towel, or what have you. Like, so ask having your partner take more responsibility in the household. Because a lot of times when we think of building intimacy, we think of what we can do for them.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, we carry that burden.
Yep.
Of the intimacy. We are the emotional, intimate drivers in our relationship.
Yeah.
And so when you think about intimacy building as something that you can do for yourself to help build intimacy for what you need in your relationship.
Yeah.
It looks like, can you take responsibility for this?
Yeah, for sure.
And that adds to the partnership, because men are very intelligent. We don't give them enough credit. Call a thing, they will rise to their title. They will become partners.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They become partners if you call them partners.
Yes.
I know. That's what my son, he'll say something. He goes, oh, that's right. You guys call each other partners. He's 6, but it's like, because that's what mom is signing up for.
And I want you to be a partner for somebody, because we don't understand we're raising other people's future partners.
We're
and the way
raising
you show up in your romantic relationship is a direct reflection of your family of origin. So this is great that he's learning it now.
Yes, you will be a partner. Before we get out of here, I cannot have you here and not get your top recommendations for pleasure tools. So, favorite tools or products to enhance pleasure and why you recommend them. And I know we can get them from you too.
I have 3 that are my favorite, that are my go-tos. Okay. The first one is a Frisky Finger, and it's available on AskGoody.com.
Okay, Frisky Finger.
Yeah, the Frisky Finger. It is a waterproof, wireless, rechargeable bullet with a textured silicone sleeve and a finger strap. Okay. So you can put it on your finger and you don't have to try to hold it. So it's great to use on your vulva. You can use it in addition to oral sex on a penis, because you can have it on your finger while you're stroking the penis, etc. They can have it on their thumb while they're performing oral sex on the vulva. It's very versatile. Okay. It's not penis shaped. It's not going to be bigger than they are, because that's usually the biggest biggest complaint that they have is it's bigger than me and I'm the only penis in the room kind of thing. Those are great for that. Okay. Frisky Finger. Yeah, the Frisky Finger. The Rose. And the Rose, I love the Rose because you can use it on the vulva. And clit sucking toys also make great nipple sucking toys. True. And everyone has nipples, so you can use it on them to help. Yes. With that. Also, you can put it on the frenulum. Y'all look this up. The frenulum is the tip of the penis. It's like a little V-shaped part. You can put run your tongue across it and put the Rose on the frenulum. Right. On the penis, and it's a different sensation. You can't create it yourself. The Rose will do it. And then you can just run your tongue across the rest of the head of the penis and call it a day. Right. But it's great because I like toys that you can use with partners. So the Rose is my second one. And then I have a wand. It's called the Mini Mighty. It's not even 5 inches long. It has rumble.
The wand.
Rumble. It's called the Mini Mighty. It's on the website. It's the Mini Mighty.
Yeah.
And it's textured. It has but it rumbles, and it's very strong and powerful. And so you can use it. You can put it under your chin while you're performing oral sex on your partner.
Okay.
So
and I feel like everything we've talked about has felt very hetero, but I want to include everybody. So
that's what I'm saying, on partner. So you can put it under your chin. Anything I've said.
Yes.
So,
I know. I just want to make sure people know that I'm.
Yeah, no, it's everybody, all kinds of sex. So that's why I said you can have it on the thing, like the frisky thing, you put it on the vulva and perform oral sex. You can put, all the things. So with the Mini Mighty, it's a wand, but you can put it under your chin while performing oral sex on your partner, whether it's a vulva or a penis. They can feel the rumble through your mouth.
Ah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's not even because I'm here for all folk.
Yes.
I'm married to a man, but I'm a pansexual person.
Okay.
So I try to make sure everybody is, you know what I'm saying? But I love those three because they can be used on all body parts.
Okay. Yes.
And in tandem with a partner. Like, it's not just by yourself. You can use it, with your partner, on your partner.
Yes. Okay. And lastly, only because I saw this and I am so curious. It's all about, I feel like in your world, you probably hear about poly and all of this stuff, but I saw that you commented on an article about what people are getting wrong. And so just quickly kind of just tell us, get us up to speed. What's happening in the poly world? What are people getting wrong?
I think polyamory is a beautiful thing. If you're built for it, it's not for everybody, but neither is monogamy. And I think
I love that you said if you're built for it.
Yeah, because it's a thing. Like there's a space in the world where monogamy is a beautiful, happy, balanced existence.
Okay.
And so it's polyamory. And I think what a lot of people don't realize is that prior to the transatlantic slave trade, we were all polyamorous. But typically that was the framework. I think what people get wrong is, especially Black men currently are getting wrong, is that they're thinking about polyandry, not polyamory. So polyamory means multiple relationships, multiple loves. It's not just the sex. If it's just sex, that's swinging. That's an open relationship. Polyamory means relationship. Okay. Polyandry is one man, multiple women.
Polyandry. Okay. See? All right.
And then I forgot the name of it. It's the other one is one woman, multiple men. Polyamory is multiples, right?
Multiples.
And so what the podcast bros are talking about is polyandry.
Okay.
So the challenge is that a lot of times people want to be polyandrous, where it's one man and a bunch of women, but they don't want their female partners to have other partners.
Right, which would be polyamory, actually.
That would be polyamory. Also, understanding that polyamory doesn't mean that everybody is sleeping with everybody. Let's say you and I are in a relationship. You could have a partner that I don't sleep with. I could have a partner that you don't sleep with. We could have a partner that we share.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? It doesn't, there's no one way to poly.
Right.
Most people think it's just like 3 people or 4 people and they're all having sex together. They're all going on dates together. They're all doing, that's not the case.
Okay.
That is not. And so I think reading books, The Ethical Slut is my favorite go-to book for people that are curious about polyamory.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
I think, I find myself in a curiosity about all these things because I don't know. I feel like there's a shift, there's more information, more access to more things and
more credible sources.
And more credible sources.
I read a theory that because of the climate chaos and the polar ice caps and everything is melting and heating up, the vibration of the earth is changing. And the energy that the new vibration is allowing this third eye reconnection to the diaspora. That's there's this, you feel it. It feels different.
It does.
There's a global reawakening of the diaspora to certain things that existed pre-colonialism, pre-colonization, because the earth is now vibrating different.
Wow.
That kind of,
it tracks. It's just, I never, I would never peek into these books or, I find myself very ooh, what is this?
And not even if you want to practice it, but just to know.
Honestly,
you may have a friend that's interested in it and you can have a meaningful conversation with them.
Yes.
It makes you a better community member.
That's how I feel, is that I don't want to be a person, like, I don't want to be the person that's like blown away by everything over lunch. You know, like, girl, everything can't surprise you. Everything can't be so shocked. What? You know, it's like, oh, I am familiar. I am aware, you know? So
I tell people I know a little bit about a lot of things.
That's it. It's just to know a little bit. So
it doesn't have to be your life and your, like, you know, people, the monogamy of it all, the polyamory of it all, the open relationship of it all, whatever is for you is for you. Don't yuck someone else's yum, and you know, your ideas and rules and ideologies are for you in your house, and
right,
and make space to respect. Respect is free.
Ooh.
I don't have to do what you do to respect you.
Yeah,
I don't have to agree. Because agree, anybody ask you, but I don't have to agree.
Right.
To respect, like, it's free.
Yeah.
I want to be respected, so I'm gonna respect you.
Yeah. Goody. Thank you for your time, and tell everybody where to get the Frisky Finger, where to take the classes, all the things. Where can we find you?
Okay. So my name is Goody, and so everyone asks Goody. So I'm Ask Goody everywhere likes can be clicked. AskGoody, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I don't use Twitter anymore, but I have one. The TikTok, all of the things. My website is askgoody.com. And if you use code MyLeak, you get 20% off whatever you decide to go buy.
Yes. Go get the things. Support her for all of the education and the knowledge and everything that you drop on us. Like, I always tell you, all the ways that we can support you. I want to make sure that we do that, because your work is important, and we are glad that you just keep showing up. So thank you.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye-bye.